Hi everyone, welcome back. Sorry guys, it's been a little bit. I just want to come live and I want to open up my latest orders. One is from Re.defined for you and the other one is from the Paper and Ink Boutique. So I'm just gonna double check that my camera's good. Sorry guys. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Just gonna pull myself a little closer. There we go. So I'm super excited. This one here I've had for a little bit, and then this one here came this morning. So I just want to open them up and I want to show you what I ordered. So I'm super excited. Re.defined for you is a physical and an online store that is a couple hours from me in Kings, Nova Scotia. Actually, Kentville, Nova Scotia, sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and pull everything out. And I'm going to show you what's here. There we go. So here's the first one. And here we go. So Dagny included some beautiful rub-ons. And these are from Iron Orchid Designs. And she's got a beautiful mushroom here. And there's some others, the other ones in here that are going to be perfect for the journal I'm working on. So I'm super excited. So these are little extras from Dagny. Thank you, love. Those are beautiful. And I placed an order for the Iron Orchid Designs Sparrow's Nest. So this one here is sparrows, and then the nests. So beautiful. It has the birds, and that gives you an idea of what they look like. So those are beautiful. And she's amazing, and I had her special order me in a couple of sets from Seth Apter that are older sets that I don't have. So I want to show you those. The first one is ESA 20. I love this one, Find Your Fire, and it's got these beautiful, amazing, like swatch squares on here. That's what that reminds me of, like an amazing grid swatch pattern. And I just love the grunginess of all these stamps. So I'm going to be using them all different ways. And over the summer, I'm going to be doing a lot of work in my art journals. And I'm going to show you different ways to use these stamps and different things. And we're just going to have a lot of fun doing mixed media and some different things. So I am super excited. So that's the first one. And then the next one is ESA 29 Vintage. And it has these amazing grungy elements and numbers and all kinds of different things. And again, just awesome. The detail that goes into their stamps is just amazing. And I love Seth's grungy style that he does. It's just awesome. ESA 25 is the next one. And I call this Found and Gathered because he has a little Found and Gathered stamp here. And I love these circles. These are going to be great for doing collage and all kinds of different things. He's got an alphabet here. And I love how it isn't just straight alphabet, it's letters and also words, and it kind of runs and plays on itself, so you can stamp bits and pieces, or you can stamp the whole thing and use it as a collage element or something to get hidden in the background. And I just love all of these elements. Like, look at that one. That's just amazing. And of course, Found and Gathered Harmony and the amazing stamps that he does that has all the texture and grunge. I love them. And this one here is the final one, ESA 30, and it's called What Goes Around Comes Around, or etc. And I just love this set. And it has his circles that he does and his different elements, and I love that symbol. It's amazing. And I love how all of his sets kind of reflect each other, and they also the design style is amazing because you can literally match these up with anything, and you can use his sets all together. And I love to use them with Tim Holtz as well, so I cannot recommend these enough. They're just amazing. And this is the new tissue paper from Paper Artsy. It's from Hot Picks, and it's I believe it's called, is it just called Birds? I'm not sure, but it's a new favorite. So I have one set of it here from Dagny, And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up my box from the Paper and Ink Boutique. So that there's my order from Dagny. And then this is my order from Calgary. So, we'll start with these. I ordered a 12x12 stencil from the Crafters Workshop. I'm just going to do one of those so you can see the whole thing. It's awesome. It's 12x12. So that's like a really great sort of tribal pattern. It also kind of reminds me of like an Egyptian pattern or Moroccan. It's really cool. And then I got this large one here. That's a 12x12 stencil. And I love how that looks. It's lined and it's linear and kind of like almost like a peacock pattern or even a floral pattern. I like it. I got another sheet of Arden Creative Studios decoupage paper. I'm just going to start pulling everything out one by one. Prism Studio. These are new. Prism Studio Chroma Cuts, and they are their die cut essential greenery. I love these, and these are going to play with my Tim Holtz dies. So these are all things I'm going to be using in this journal. And then I got a new stamp set from Arden Creative Studio, the Botanical Clusters one. I love these. It has the butterflies and the botanicals. So those are going to be great for layering and using those in my journals. And I love this one here too. This is the new craft dies set from Katie Pertiet. And it's the Maker's Series postage. And it's awesome because there's actually, if you can see, it's two dies. So you can cut the border, or you can cut the border around and have the whole thing. So essentially I can cut this as one piece or two pieces with a frame, or I could take the smaller one and put it inside the frame to make a bigger area. And then it has these little tabs as well. So it's amazing how you can layer that all up different ways. So I'm super excited, and sorry guys, I'm doing this one-handed. That's what it looks like. Like that. I really love that one. Amazing. Then I got some stencils. I will show these to you. I got this one on sale for $2.99. This one is a France Papillion from Paper Artsy. And it says Soul on it. And it also has like symbols, and I love this. And the numbers, I got it for a really good price. And finally, they got back in stock their rub-on transfers. So I got 2 packs of the Hidden Creek rub-on transfers, and they're just gorgeous, if you guys can see that. Yeah, from Katie Pertiet with her Hidden Creek. And in each one you get 2 of each designs, so it gives you 4 in a pack. So it's a great value for that. And then I got her 2 stencils from the early release of Hidden Creek. So I got this one here, her Maker's Series Fancy Flourish, and her Maker's Series Distressed Diamond. So I'm super excited for those. And I had to, guys. I ordered 2 more packs of, it's just called Birds, of the tissue paper. And then I have an order of Scattered Straw Distressed Oxide Spray. So I now have all the neutrals. So it's the browns and the black and the white, and I have all the yellows and all the oranges. I just need to get the pinks, and there's a couple reds left, and all the purples, and 2 or 3 more green. And I have all the oxide sprays. So I'm super excited for that. Oh, and I have 2. Oh, no. Yeah, I had 2. And the other thing I ordered too was another tissue. I haven't tried this one yet, and I'm excited. This is the tissue paper from Alison Bomber, and it is all botanical and floral, and it's going to go perfectly in my journal, which is the Artemis. I'm using Artemis kits, and it's a design team project for her. And then I have a couple more things. I ordered Distress sanding discs for sanding up and grunging tags and little ephemera pieces. They go right on your Distress blending tool. So I'm super excited. And they're reasonable. They were $3.95. So it's not bad for a whole pack. And then Seth Apter just released a new stamp series. There's 8 of them. And they're his minis. So I'm going to try to show them in, mine is 122, 121. Okay, this is the first one. They don't individually have names. Okay, so this is 121, and I love these. So this is here from Seth Apter. His Eclectica Paper Artsy stamps. This is EM 121. And I just love that. If you guys can see, it's like a tribal pattern. This new set that he came out with is just amazing. Okay, so it's 121, 122. They're amazing. They're like it reminds me of like barbed wire or a fence, even like a fence or a hydro wire. Just amazing. And you can use them in bits and pieces in all different ways to create different marks or different, like to add that different element to your mixed media. Okay, 123. This is the next one. Just amazing. And the detail. These kind of remind me of tribal patterns. I absolutely love them. Or they're very inspired by the Midwest. So they're just amazing. And I have so many great ideas. And if you go on to Seth's Instagram, he's got all kinds of, in his Facebook, he's got all kinds of inspiration for these. They're just amazing. And these were released last week, so I'm super excited. So this one's EM 124. So this is like all kinds of dots. But you can use them different ways. It's just amazing. So if you use them with the other stamps, you could do I've done that where I've used some of his more linear stamps and dots, and I've done them different ways, and they actually look like almost like Futhark runes kind of thing, or like an ancient language. And that's when I really, when you start coming up with kind of your own design, when you start stamping things, that's kind of when you can make these things your own. So that's what I love about Seth. He really encourages his products to be used your way, opposed to just out of the box conventionally to stamp it. You can use them different ways to get different angles or different bits, or like, you can do it this way. That would make a great swatch like that, or using it just different ways to get different elements, or even just inking it partially and then layering it with something else. So it's a lot of fun. So that one's EM 125. And then 126 is this amazing, like a hieroglyph pattern. And that one reminds me of like an ancient lost language. I just love that. It's so amazing. And with those dots, you could create all kinds of things. Like a whole sheet of a language. And this one has that same design language here too. Like almost like a cuneiform. I really love that. Like an ancient Hebrew or an Aramaic kind of text is kind of what it looks like. It's just amazing. So just a lot of fun. And we'll be able to layer that different ways. And then he has this amazing alphabet here. That's all kind of mishmashed. And I love how tiny it is so that you can get these layers to get lost in your backgrounds. So that's what I really love about it. And then the last thing that I ordered, I believe it's the last thing. Nope, two more things. Okay, so I ordered, because they're now obsolete, guys. I ordered the last remaining of the ones that they had in stock of the Cosmic Shimmers. These are iridescent mica pigments. I have a couple of them, but I really wanted these for doing butterflies and different things. And I got them on sale. They were $10.25, and I got them for $6.15 each, so that was great, because they're all on clearance and they're iridescent. So this one is Carnelian Blaze. So it's going to give me that beautiful monarch butterfly look. So I'm super excited for doing butterflies and all kinds of different things with that. Pumpkins, that'll be good for fall. This one here too, it's like a gold color. I got something sticky on there. I think that's like, it looks like a little piece of glue or resin or something. This is called Honey Jade. They're all 20 milliliters, and I got them on sale because, yeah, they're on clearance. So same thing. So it's a beautiful like golden yellow color for doing bees and botanicals and different things. And then I got this beautiful purple. So again, good for doing butterflies. This will be more like a Halloween sort of thing, I think. Kind of reminds me of Hocus Pocus a little bit. But I use these like watercolors. And I have like the bronze one, and there's a couple other ones I have. So I don't have too many, but I bought what they had in stock because Cosmic Shimmer, I think it's called, the company. No, Creative Expressions. I believe it's Creative Expressions. Yes, it is. Creative Expressions in the UK. Yeah, that company has unfortunately closed their doors. So that was kind of it there. And then I ordered these two. These are both from Arden Creative Studio, and these are called Vintage Makers. This is the film reel kiss cut pet tape. So this one here is a film reel, so it's like a film, and then these are all translucent, so then when you put your stamped image or your background underneath it, you'll see through it, so it's pretty awesome. And these ones are amazing too. I can't wait to dig into these. And so these have like butterflies and different vintage elements all on them. There we go. So you guys can see, and they're not just black and white, they're all printed differently. And then they're individually cut on there, so I can actually peel them off like a sticker if I want to, or I could use them as the whole strip like that. So it's kind of neat because it's called Kiss Cut Pet Tape. So it's really cool. I'll probably order a couple more of these so I have them for the rest of the journal. Okay, so that concludes my orders from Re.defined for You and the Paper and Ink Boutique. So I'm super excited, and I'm just going to move this stuff beside me, except that I'll put it up here because it has to go in my tower. Okay. And I want to do a little demo today, and I apologize, guys. I have not been live, and I have not been doing videos in a little bit. It's just been super, super busy with my kids, and they're transitioning to new schools. So it's been lots of meetings and setting things up for next year. And we've just been really busy with stuff. Seems to be like everything at once between the taxes and the house taxes and the renewing insurance and all these things. So it's been appointments nonstop, back to back for the last month. And so my time to do this pretty much is during the day. And then it's harder to do this in the evenings during the week now. Especially our kids get up we have to get up with the kids at 5 o'clock in the morning every day for school. So come the evening, I'm exhausted. And yeah, it's just been a lot lately. So I just wanted to share that. And then I'm super excited. So what I have been doing, and I wanted to do these off camera because I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, guys. So I want to show you these. We did the molds together. So this one here was from the Iron Orchid design set that was, I believe it's called the Marsh. And I love how these turned out. And I'm going to explain to you what I used. And I just love them. And I did them very realistic. I didn't really do like a solid mixed media with just a bit of stuff to blend it into a background like a lot of them are. I wanted realism, so I did that with all of these. So I give these very realistic looks. So as you can see, they are a resin, clear resin that I used, like a clear hard resin I should say, to cast the molds. And then once they were done, I used paper Artsy paints. So I've taken several colors and mixed them to get these colors. So that green is three of Seth Apter's greens. So I've used Magic Moss, his green patina, and then I used Agave. Yeah, that one. And this is the one I have in front of me right now. And I mixed the three of those together and a tiny little bit of heavy cream. And that gave me that beautiful light green color. And I painted the whole thing that green first. That's why at the back he looks green. Because I did that first to give it the first coat. And it coated it perfectly. I didn't need gesso. It kind of replaces gesso, right? I used Little Black Dress to do the eye and the this part of his beak. And then I took Seth's purples, which are Majestic Purple, and then the Squid Ink, and I mixed those together with a little bit of acrylic medium, the Liquitex Basics Iridescent Medium. So I took and I mixed that in, and that's what but I used quite a bit of this to make it lighter, and that's what gave me that beautiful iridescent purple color. And then I used heavy cream for this area here, and I let the whole thing dry. I put the accent in for the eye, and I hit this with a little bit of my People Gilding Wax, which is this product right here. I believe, yeah, over here, because it's the Renaissance Gold that I used. Yep, Renaissance Gold. So it's beautiful. So it's more of like an afternoon sun kind of look, and that's what I was going for. So I hit it with that, and I did the same thing, but I didn't lighten it with heavy cream. I used the 3 colors, mixed them together, and this is what I got. And then I also used a little Hyde Park to give it a low. So that's why this looks dimensional with the two colors of the custom green that I made there for the light, and then the dark is Hyde Park. And then I hit it with for the highlight on there, I hit it with Renaissance Gold People Gilding Wax. And then for the mushrooms, I covered them in heavy cream. I used mahogany, and then I added Seth's Tomato and a little bit of Tracy Scott's lipstick to get that pinkier color, and I added them over top as the third coat. And then I went and I hit, like, because if you guys can see, these are so textured. So I went through all the texture with heavy cream at the end, just to give it that highlight. And then I took Tundra, and you can see here, and I've given it tiny little accents with my liner brush. So I used a very thin liner brush to do that, to give that accents. And I haven't finished him yet, but I've got his shell finished. I just want to give him like a lighter kind of tone and do like a black ring around him before I put him on the cover. So I'm just kind of playing around with what ideas I wanted to do to make him, because he needs like almost like a flesh color, and I don't really have that. So I'm going to have to kind of make up a custom blend for that. And then I want like a black outline around his shell. And so he's the only one not sealed. And then what I did was I put the mahogany down, and then I used a little bit of that People Gilding Wax over it. So this is quite a bit darker because that's mahogany than this one, because I wanted contrast, because that's essentially how he's going to go on the cover. He's going to sit here. And I did, guys, I finished the cover. I will show you. So my cover's all done. It's got Tim Holtz fabric. It's got that beautiful green plaid fabric I did, and I took vintage lace and that beautiful velvet trim that Dagny had sent me as a little freebie in my first order, and I put it through the lace. And then these are from Artsy Maze Kit, and I put them in 2 frames from 49 and Market, one of the first sets that Katie Pertiet did. And so they're in the frames, and essentially what I'm going to do once the whole thing's together, I'm going to come in and I'm going to glue my pieces down. So this will be something like that, and yeah, more like that, and like that, something like this. So it's going to be lovely, and I'm super excited. And then my mushrooms are going to go at the bottom. So that's how that's going to go. So I really love how it's all turning out. So I needed more time for that, because I really had to plan how I was going to do that. I wasn't even sure if the paper artsy paint was going to work, but I'm so happy with it, and it turned out beautiful. And then I added the little tab to the side of the journal, and again, I just have to do the inside. I have to finish reinforcing the spine when I put the fabric over, and then I have the spine to stitch my signatures to. It's going to be a 3 signature journal. I've already got everything all cut out from the kit, and I'll show you. So I've gone ahead and I've got my 3 signatures ready to go into the book. So all I have to do now is just, and I've tore the bottom and I've tore the top. Everything's good to go and it fits. I just have to now decorate pages and stuff. So now that brings us to today's video. So what I want to do is put these all aside in a way where I'm not going to drop them or anything. Probably on my countertop's probably best. And I'm going to need my baby wipes. So I'll pull those over. And these can just carefully right now go on my counter, which is beside me. There we go. Okay. So I haven't really touched on this too much, but I'm really excited because her kits actually have a few pages like this. So anytime, I mean, I don't do this to the pages that are like this. This has a beautiful, an absolutely beautiful finish to it. So it's very detailed, and it has a focal point already, and it has a beautiful image of some kind that you want to keep intact, right? So when I do ink blending, I want it to be very light so I don't get bleed through. But when I have pages like this, like these ones, let me show you, that are a beautiful background, but don't really have too much tooth to them, like they don't have like a focal point image, then this is where I don't mind. And if you guys can see, I didn't fold those straight. I wanted them to have a little bit of character to them, because they're like a soft background, so I can come in and I can do mixed media, and I don't have to worry about how things land. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So basically, let's start out maybe with the green one, and we'll start out with some green paints and things. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna just open it up like this. We're right in the middle. See, my pages are not straight at the bottom, and I wanted it like that so I have things that hang over and to do different things. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm gonna work here, and then you guys will be able to see probably there what I'm doing. So I'm gonna move it down. There we go, some bit closer so you guys can see. Maybe a little better. Right there. Good. Okay, so we're gonna start with like a nice light color. So let's do Desert Bush. These are Seth Apter colors. Yep, Desert Bush. Okay, and we've got Agave. You can use a gel plate for this, but you don't have to. You can use your glass media mat. Okay, and then I have Heavy Cream. Heavy Cream, Agave, and Desert Bush we're going to start with. And then I have a small brayer here, and I'm going to want a page to brayer off on. So ideally, I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to work over here as we go. So as I'm mixing things together. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to roll that out over here to the side. I can kind of mix that all up together. So I have something that's not quite heavy cream and not quite, there we go, where I can mix that all in. So it's a little darker than heavy cream. It's got some green undertones. Okay, so essentially, I'm just going to kind of start in here and kind of go like this, where I'm just adding some light color down. And because these are Fresco chalk acrylic paints, and I'm using opaque colors, they are going to pretty much dry instantly when I put these down. So this is just going to give my page a little bit of texture. So I'm going to start with these. Okay. That's not really rolling out too well. There we go. And that's perfect. We start nice and light, and we build our layers. So I'm not using the gel plate. I'm just using a brayer. Okay. And then I'm going to grab an acrylic block. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to go a little darker. I'm going to grab some honey. So this is Seth Apter's honey. I'm just going to give that a light. Sometimes it just takes a second. I haven't used my sprays in a bit. Just gonna grab it. I haven't been in here in a month. Yeah, it's been almost a month. To use my sprays and stuff, I've been doing the molds and painting them and cutting apart the kit. Okay, I'm gonna have to give that a water bath after. Let's try some tea. Here we go. Tea is being more successful. And then I just want to break this up a little bit, so I'm going to add some water. Just a little bit, just to give me some spurts. And if I don't want it like that, I can always come in and I can move these around so they're more inky. Into like a pattern. If I want to spread it all out. Like that. Okay. And I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to touch it. Here we go. So I'm just going to lightly touch that. And I like that here. I'll do that one a little darker there. There we go. So I'm loving that. And this is kind of a controlled way of adding ink to your page. See? Oh, I love that. It's like a grid mark. See? So this gives you a totally different texture when you do something like this. And I want a little there. And I'm just going to keep adding until I'm happy. So that's a great start. So that's what we have. And then, as you can see, I have blending bleed through on this side of my page. So this is not something I would do if I had a design, like a beautiful design that I didn't want to cover up on the opposite side of the page. So this is where we can get nice and inky. And then I can come in with my baby wipe, and I can pick up anything that isn't down and dry. See, I'm getting a little bit of pickup. You can use stencils, all kinds of things. So there, we've done that with our little bit of ink now. And then I can come in with, I'm just going to give my brayer a wipe. So we have our green, we have a little bit of honey, tea. And all right, we're going to grab one of our new Katie Pertiet stamps. I'm loving this one. The botanicals and the butterfly. Yeah, let's give this one a go. That came today. Here we go. And I don't think I have a smaller acrylic block in front of me right now, so let's just use this one. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ink that up. Yep, I got the right side. And I'm going to use my Ranger Archival in black. Here we go. And I'm going to come and put that down right about here. Yep. And I have a pressure tool here. That's much easier on the wrists. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I've got that nicely in the corner here. And I want another one over here for balance. And I don't think that's dark enough. I need to re-ink that one, I think. So let's go ahead and use our Tim Holtz one. Both are Ranger. Ah, that's better. There we go. Okay. And we're going to put this one towards the bottom. So right about here. Okay. There we go, and I shifted that a little bit, but that's not going to matter, as we'll see what I mean. Okay, and then I want bits and pieces, and there's one that I purchased that was from about a month ago or so, and it is here. Yep, right here. Artful Ledgers one. I'm keeping them all together sort of at my desk, so I'm able to use them all together in this journal. Here we go. So I'm not too worried. This one here is kind of like lines, and it has, it's beautiful. It also has script. So I'm just going to go ahead. And this is a great thing too, they're really sticky. So it's like another great way to use your stamps. Don't feel like if you don't have a block, you don't need a block. Don't feel like you have to use one. This is another great technique where you're just putting it in your hand like this. And then I can come in and I can just stamp bits and pieces here and there and kind of all over the place, and then things can get lost in the background. Do you see how some are lighter than others? And you can use different colors, and you can do all kinds of things. Now, that's really blurry, so I'm going to take some Desert Bush, and this is the great thing too, because this kind of acts like it's gesso. So I just want a little bit, and I'm going to put my fingers in that. I'm just going to go ahead. Okay, no. Got it. Mix it, because it's been sitting. That's better. Okay. I can go in like this, and then anywhere where I want to just, yeah, and then I can brayer that out. If there's something I don't like, or something I just want to add a little, yeah, just like that. Okay, I'm going to do the same over here, where I'm just adding like a little bit like this, and then I can brayer it out. And then if I don't like something, I can always do this and I can pick things up. See, guys? Or I make something a little bit more translucent or a little bit more opaque. You just add it on or you lift it off. And I can also come in, and this is another really great technique I want to show you. Years ago, a lot of people did rag painting. So it's the same kind of concept, but we're doing this with a baby wipe. And if you just roll your baby wipe, it's damp, it's not soaking wet, like that, you're gonna get like a rose pattern, if you guys can see that. So essentially like that, you're gonna get a rose pattern. So then I just come into my paint like this and I dab it off, so I just have a little bit like that, and then you can come in and you can see, and you can build an entire background like that. So again, this is the same color that I used for the if you guys can see, that's the same color that I had used for the hummingbird. I had leftovers on my desk, so I just kind of came in and kind of did one of these, and then you can create like your own sort of custom design. See? Love that. And then over here, same thing. And just by rolling it and rolling it around. And you can do this with laces and fabrics too, where you're kind of creating your own flowers and different things. But this is just a fun way to do mixed media. So, I mean, that just is the start of something, right? There. And then again, if you don't like something, or if something isn't quite to your taste, what I'm going to do now on this page is, because that was the point, one that's kind of perfect and one that's kind of messy. And I'm just going to show you guys. Okay, what's going on? There we go. We're not plugged all the way in. Here we go. So we want to make sure this whole thing is dry. You need to have a dry surface before doing rub-ons. So I just wanted to share that. You can use die cuts, you can use anything. But I just want a simple background on here that I could probably put a pocket over, or you can put a photograph on it, or you could add a little tip in of something, or do a focal point, and that's probably what I'll end up doing. So what I want to do in that corner is add some, so I'll make sure my surface is nice and dry. Okay, that way. We'll flip it over and see, I've got a grungy mess on this side, and it won't matter because you can do the exact same thing to this side. So same thing, guys, and actually maybe we'll do that before I add rub-ons. So again, I can take some of my Agave here and just, that's all. Customize your sheets and do your own thing. I love to do this on just like, again, a pattern sort of paper. So I'm not covering the whole thing. I'm just adding accents on. Come on. There we go. Just do dabs. Yep. And then we get square marks. And I still have that beautiful pattern through there. Okay. And again, I can take some spray. And Seth says the further back you go like this, the tiny little splatters you're going to get, you're not going to get a bullseye. So that's beautiful. I love that. So again, now I can come in and, yep. Just like that. Okay, now I want to make sure that I'm completely dry on both sides. And everything looks good, so that just gives us our own customized pages now. So when that goes into the journal, I'll be able to do some kind of focal point, and it kind of looks like everything blends in. I could take some Seth stamps and go all the way around the edges. I'm going to work on this more, obviously. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of just some of the ways to use your paints and your inks, and this is what I love about Seth Apter and the Paper Artsy Fresco finished chalk acrylic paints, is that you can mark make over them with anything, including your sprays. You can come in and you can spray over them, and you can't, there's no limit to that. So I love that. You can stamp over them with inks, and that includes any of the distress inks or oxides, and you can use your ink sprays over them, and they still show up over anything that you've painted with their paints. So it's one of the things I love about their products. All right, and then I have a bunch of rub-ons in here. Okay, so as I mentioned, a lot. So I want to just have a quick flip through of what I think would be absolutely beautiful on this page. And these are all Katie Pertiet designs. Some are $49 in market. Let me see here. Maybe we'll do some botanicals. So this is one of her, I've used a couple of these so far. Alina by Katie Pertiet. I think I left one in there by accident. Yeah, see, I really love that with the botanical sort of flowers. And then I have these ones. I like that too with the bits of words. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. I want to do that. So what you do is we just, for anyone who's new to rub-ons, I really love this one here. So you can kind of cut it out the way you want it. So if I just wanted to go like this and use this whole area like this and just kind of, yeah, like that. You can kind of pick and choose how you want it to cut out. So yeah, maybe I don't love all of that. I want to layer over it. So let's try that right here. Okay, and then I've got the Tool by Tim Holtz. It should be right here. Yep, right here for doing rub-ons. Okay, so then what we do is we take that from the backing, discard this, take our rub-on, and position it where we want it. And I'm thinking right about here. And then go up like that. I want to put it flat on my page. So again, you want to make sure that your surface is nice and dry and everything's good to go. Then we start the rub-on transfer. And we just go over the whole entire thing. Yeah, just like that. Make sure everything transfers. Just give it a little bit of pressure. There we go. And we go right across until the whole thing transfers. And then what I do is I just start lifting it up. So anything you miss, you just go back down and make sure it transfers. Here. Oops. Sorry guys. I want to flip that around. That's probably better. There we go. There we go. Oh, they're sticking to me. And there we go. And I can seal those in with some gel medium. There. I love that. So I have a little bit of the butterfly stamp and then I have the rub-on transfer over top. So it just blends right into your page and just adds that something. So I love that one. And maybe some botanicals over here. I have, let me see. Yeah, I really love these ones too with the florals. We'll put a big floral here. Let's do that one. Yeah, this one right here. So that's all I do. I just cut out what I want to use and then I put it down. So here's this one here. I really love that. So I'm just gonna put that right along here. Yep, like that. That'll be beautiful. I also have one of those popsicle stick things that might be quicker. Maybe like that. There we go. There we go. Okay, then we lift up, starting at the corner. Here we go. And anywhere that doesn't lift, we just go back over it, and then we pull it up. Okay. So beautiful. I love that. So if you guys can see that, it turned out great. Again, just like that. I can put some focal points. I can layer some stuff up on there, and it's beautiful. So again, that's how you add some texture and some color to your pages, and that's without even a focal point. So I could put something else on here later as a focal point. This is just a great starter as backgrounds for our pages. So just wanted to give you guys some ideas, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and do the next few, because I have 4 more of these pages to do, and then I will just keep doing this, guys. I'll come live and I'll do a video, and I'll just keep giving you guys updates of my journal as I keep progressing, because I'm aiming to have this done in the next couple weeks. So we're just going to keep working at it until we get it done. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be back in the next day or so with another video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day. Thanks, everyone. Bye.